Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and to my series Cravings, where I'm sharing easy recipes that you can recreate at home should you wish for something sweet, because I know I do, especially now. In this episode, I'm going to be making mini carrot cakes. So the reason why I like miniaturizing certain cakes, especially carrot cakes, is because I don't necessarily want a whole slice of cake with lots of buttercream layers. I'm making these in a mini loaf tin with a little bit of cream cheese buttercream, and it's just enough to satisfy my sweet tooth. So let's get straight into the recipe. So of course, the main ingredient in a carrot cake is a carrot. Now, I know this sounds a bit silly, but the secret to a good carrot cake is to hand grate your carrots. So don't go buying ready grated because they're very dry. And if you think of a carrot cake, they're extremely moist, and that comes from a freshly grated carrot. So firstly, I'm going to just peel the carrot. And the measurement of the carrot in this recipe is once it's grated. So we want 200 grams of carrot. So I'm going to start grating it and then weigh it. And what I'm also going to do is, rather than use the larger grater, which you probably would usually for a carrot, I'm going to use the smaller one. And because I'm going to be making mini carrot cakes, the smaller grated carrots will just help maintain their shape more. So now I'm just going to measure my 200 grams of carrot. Perfect, now we can get on with the rest of the recipe. So first we're going to go in with oil. So this is a neutral oil, basically meaning don't use olive oil or coconut. And this is another reason why carrot cakes are so moist, because they're made with oil. And into the oil, I've got a mixture of dark brown sugar and white sugar. You can use light brown sugar. Fun fact, you can't actually find light brown sugar here in Israel, so that's why I do the mix between brown and white. But if you've got soft light brown sugar, that also works. Then I've got some vanilla paste, and I'm going to use a whisk to combine. Into this, I can drop my eggs, and once again mix it, and the whisk will help break up the eggs. Now in here, I've got my plain flour and baking powder that can go straight in. And then what I love about carrot cake are the delicious spices. So I've got a teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of ginger. The ginger is optional. I personally love the kick of ginger, but you can stick to just cinnamon if you want. And once again, I'm going to use the whisk to combine. So I'm not adding air using the whisk. For me, it just helps combine all of the ingredients together. And before I add the rest of the ingredients, I'm just going to swap my whisk for a spatula because I don't need the whisk anymore. And also the carrots are just gonna stick to it quite a lot. And then in goes my carrots. And you can feel straight away with the fresh carrots that they do retain the moisture, which helps the moisture in the carrot cake itself. And then here I've got some raisins and walnuts. Both are optional. I know some people don't like raisins or people want to avoid nuts. I love both, especially in a carrot cake. And now I'm going to use my spatula to mix the carrot, raisin and walnuts inside. So the batter's done, and essentially you can cook this batter in any shape or size tin, depending on what shape you want to go for, but because I'm doing mini carrot cakes, I've got this mini loaf tin tray, so it's like a muffin tray. Instead of muffins, they're these rectangular shapes, and they just come out so cute, and I've lined them with a little bit of baking paper to stop them sticking. And I'm going to use an ice cream scoop to help me fill them. So I'm going to start off with a scoop in each one, and then I may fill them a little bit more if they need. So this mix was just enough to fill this tray. So these are going to bake at 160 degrees Celsius with fan or 180 without. for about 20 minutes. Now I'm saying about because depending on the size tray you're baking in will determine how long they need to bake for. But you're looking for a lovely rise and a spring back to the touch, and of course a nice golden brown color. So I'm gonna check them after 20 minutes and may give them an extra 5 if they need. So I checked my carrot cakes after 20 minutes and I felt they needed just a couple extra minutes, so I left them in for 2 more. So this is 22 minutes in total and they are perfectly springing back, so I know that they're ready. I'm going to leave these to completely cool in the tin before I take them out and get ready for decoration. So I've left the carrot cakes cooling for about half an hour, so I can now take them out and they should come out of the tin perfectly. And I'm just going to remove the paper and place them on a cooling rack because I just want the underneath to completely cool before I decorate them. They already look so cute. So I'm going to leave them here and get on with my buttercream ready to decorate. So I've got some Swiss meringue buttercream here. Now the secret to a cream cheese buttercream is to slowly add the cream cheese. So I'm using a really high fat cream cheese. That's also another good point. This is a 30% fat, so pretty high. And you don't want to add too much because it will soften the buttercream. So I'm going to go in with a heaped teaspoon at first. I'm also going to add some vanilla. And I'm using a whisk because for Swiss meringue buttercream, it's better to whisk flavors in. But you can use a spatula if you want. So the cream cheese is in there and the buttercream is still holding. So I'm actually gonna go in with half the amount that I did just before, just to add a little bit more cream cheese flavor. And then that should do it. And what I've learned is that cream cheese is different all over the world. I know that in America, you can actually get a block of cream cheese, which is really high in fat, and that works really well with buttercreams. But in England, the fat content is a little bit less. So as long as you do it gradually, you should be fine. There, perfect. So the buttercream is ready, and I'm just mixing it with a spatula now to make it smooth. And then I'm going to fill a piping bag. So got a tall glass, I'm gonna place the piping bag inside, fold the sides down, and spoon in the buttercream. Lift the bag up and twist the top. And then what I'm actually going to do is rather than cutting straight across, I'm going to cut at an angle because it's going to create a really nice piping effect on top of the cakes. Press it down a little bit. So now the carrot cakes are cold, I'm going to move them onto this presenting slate that I've got. Wow, and the smell is just delicious. I can smell the ginger and the cinnamon. And where I've made the slit, it's going to face upwards. And I'm simply going to go from side to side, piping on the buttercream like so, to get a nice wave effect. And I love this design on top of these mini loaf cakes. Of course, you can choose to decorate them however you like. Different piping tips, even different colors if you wanted, but I just love the simplicity and the effect of this piping. And to top each one off, I've actually got a whole walnut, and I just like to place it on the top like this, just as decoration, but also it gives a clue as to what's inside. I see people decorate their carrot cakes with mini carrots they've made of fondant, or fresh flowers, whatever you like. So I think these mini cakes look absolutely adorable. Just one is a perfect size, and the smell is just so intense and amazing. I have to dig in right now. So firstly, it's just the most fluffy, beautiful sponge, and because sorry, I'm salivating, because I shredded those carrots so finely, the batter has kept really even. So I'm gonna take a bite right now. I got a raisin. Oh, that was a good bite. It's just everything you want from a cake. I think I say that about all of these things that I've been making in these series, but the flavor of this cake is so powerful, and it's a perfect match with that cream cheese frosting. I mean, I say one is enough, but I might be eating two. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget you can find the recipe in the description box below. Please subscribe to my channel and like this video, and I will see you soon with more recipes and tutorials.